Ladies and gentlemen, load up your lungs and your loyalties, 'cause riding into this arena tonight, here come the Gunslingers!
No G with a Z, P-O-D, Smoking Guns podcast, hanging out with you on this Tuesday night. Tuesday. What are we doing on a Tuesday? Well, you know what? We're not dumb enough. We're just, even me, not dumb enough to go up against the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. And frankly, what a game.
Oh, especially that game. I
Oh
tell you what, if anybody had missed that game to watch us on a Monday night, they would have been regretting it for the rest of their lives if they were any kind of sports fan.
James Palmer checking in. How's it going? How's it going with you, sir? No, this first game was spectacular. I am even getting caught up in this particular. I have no particular love or hate for anyone left in the playoffs right now. I'm not a big fan of the Knicks and Jalen Brunson for Mavericks reasons. But I tried to give up hating people a long time ago. The Lakers are out, which I can never cheer for the Lakers. And, you know, I am even getting swept up in this. The Spurs look really, really good. And that was a really fun game last night. I was keeping track of it, watching it on my iPad as I was going back and forth between the Ranger game and the Spurs game. But then when we got into overtime, I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch this for now, which is fine because the Rangers lost. Good game. Wemby is him.
Yeah.
I, like many Spurs fans, when he pulled up for that, 3-point shot from another court entirely, I was like, what are you? Okay. You can have that.
We'll take it.
To tie it at 108, I think that's what sent it into the second overtime. I don't remember.
Second overtime.
That's crazy.
Just incredible. So yeah, we're not dumb enough to go up against the Spurs in the playoffs, and so keep that in mind as we move through the rest of the Western Conference Finals and then into the NBA Finals, hopefully. If we can avoid going head to head with the Spurs game, we're gonna bump to another night most of the time, as long as we can. Chase Risman already checking in. Lakers suck. Okay.
Oh my gosh, so much hate so early. Come on.
Chase
I
Risman
agree.
also says,
sorry, RC. I agree. Lakers suck.
It's hard to not agree with that particular
and they may, but come on.
No, I'm not coming on.
All
I
right.
hate the Lakers.
No. Oh, y'all are feisty around.
Yeah, no.
I want to go and buy big talent and then convince everybody that they're this is not Showtime Lakers. This is not even Kobe who came up in the Lakers. This is going and buying LeBron and bilking Nico Harrison out of Luka and making this team. And I love that they get out of the playoffs. I love it because that's not how you should ever build your team. It should be like the Spurs are doing it. Like hopefully the Mavericks are doing it. That's how it should work.
Very young team. Very young team. Who's your favorite
Mavericks?
player, or do I already assume it's Wemby?
I like Wemby a lot. Like he doesn't look human. He looks like some sort of basketball playing alien out there. He's just long and gangly. He looks like something you would see on Men in Black. He just looks like this gigantic, gangly basketball playing alien, and I'm here for it. Like, I'm okay with that.
No. It's somebody else's hot take, not mine. It's one I read. I don't remember who it was, so I can't give the person credit. But this is not me saying this, but it's 100% true. You can't make in NBA 2K, buy the video game with Wemby on it. You can't make in the video game, you can't make Wemby do some of the things that he does in real life. Think about that for a second. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't duplicate what he does in reality in a video game. That's crazy.
Okay, this is his third year. Is that right?
Third. Yes.
Out of this world.
I am actually very excited for what I hope will be a rivalry like we had at one time with the Mavericks and the Spurs when Dirk and Tim Duncan and the big three really were here in San Antonio, where those teams were on top of the Western Conference Finals virtually every year. One of those two teams were going to play for the Western Conference Finals if they weren't playing against each other. And it was a lot of fun. It was really a blast. And with Cooper Flag, first year in the league, and he looked great. And Wemby, I see the possibility of that being a rivalry that pops up. Be very cool. Be very cool to go to that.
I'm going to go against the grain. I do love Wemby, but my favorite player is Carter Bryant. And he is, for some selfish reasons, his grandparents were born deaf, and so he knows sign language. And so a lot of my children that I work with have hearing impairments and have disabilities. And when I bring that up, their faces light up because they see someone who also, even though he doesn't have a disability, but he knows sign language and he will use sign, that they really look up to him. So he's my favorite. He touches a special heart in me just because I can make that connection with him, and he's young, and with my kiddos that I work with.
Very cool. Very cool.
My favorite player is Devin Vassell overall, but on any given week, it sometimes changes. Sometimes I really like, I don't know how to point right here, but I'm kind of close with this one. Right there, that's Stephon Castle.
Okay.
Little mini that I have of him. And then Dylan Harper has just been really amazing lately. But Devin Vassell, if you make me choose one, Devin Vassell is my favorite player. But, I love the Spurs. So
James Palmer coming in with the old school take, and he said,
"Well, yeah,
still Duncan.
We're not talking all time. We're talking current team.
Right. Current.
If it's all time, man, it's Manu Ginobili all the way. For me,
yeah, Mano's a lot of fun. Mano was a lot of fun. Just a fun guy. I very rarely see anybody pick Tony. Like, we all love Tony. Tony's fine, but when you've got Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili, those are going to be your picks over Tony Parker. He was amazing, but just not as likable, I don't think, as the other two.
Not as likable.
I like Sean Elliott, and he's still relevant today. You still see him.
Yeah,
I can tell you who my. I was going to say I could tell you who my least favorite Spur was, but now I can't even remember his name. It wasn't
Rodman?
Richard Jefferson, although that was close.
Rodman?
Yeah.
Bruce Bowen. I hate Bruce Bowen. I got to tell you, I realize why Spurs fans love him. He's a great defensive presence, but he also plays defense by sticking his foot under jump shooters and having them come down on his foot wrong. He's admitted that was a move that he enjoyed. I always noticed it when we were playing against them in the playoffs, and I always hated that particular defensive strategy because I think it's dirty. It is dirty. I think it's dirty. It's dirty. And I didn't care for Bruce Bowen a whole bunch.
Those were different times. Different.
That's true.
They were
different days
different
in basketball.
They were.
It's an evolving game.
It is. I don't like it anymore. I don't like the NBA anymore. I do not like drive in, kick out, shoot three. And that's all basketball is now. That's all
Here
the
we go.
NBA is now.
You should be saying that as old man Higginbotham.
I should.
God,
You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. But I do. I hate it. I used to love, like, 3-point plays, 3-point shots were my favorite part of the game when they were rare. And now that that's all they do, I'm like, this is boring. This is just boring. they need to start creating. I know that we're way off in the weeds, but they need to start creating in the Big 12 basketball championship this year. They tried to play on a big LED screen. Did you see this?
No.
They actually had they had an LED screen as the floor. And they could project like stats and different stuff on it. I would bring back, if we're going to do this 3-point thing, just kick out to a 3-point shot all the time. They need to bring back hot spots like NBA Jam. Somebody else mentioned NBA Jam. Just like
yeah.
Plummer. But bring up hot spots. It's like a 7-point shot and just it sits there for about 20 seconds and then it goes away. Just bring up hot spots. Let's completely make the game a video game. If we're going to do this, that will at least be exciting. By the way, that they had to replace that screen, that LED screen that they played on, because it was causing problems for the players. If Cooper Flagg scored as many threes as Wimby, this would be a different conversation. Hey, Cooper Flagg is in his first year. Wimby is in his third. I don't know that those two aren't going to have a big 1-against-1 rivalry for a long time. Wimby's a couple of years ahead of him right now. Fair. Yeah. But, when Cooper Flagg gets up to speed, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Wait and see.
I hope. Well, we're talking a lot about the Spurs because that's really exciting, but we're not here to talk about the Spurs. We're here to talk about the San Antonio Gunslingers, the IFL. We have a special guest coming on in a few minutes. We are remind us who's coming on, or tell us who's coming on, RC. You did the work, so I want you to get the.
Well, look at my my shirt. There's a hint. The 6-shooters. I know Cassie's coming on. I know they have a camp coming up, and they're real excited about that. We're trying to get
we are too,
some marketing right now and help them out and give opportunity really to the young females to be part of a very positive culture where class is first class, and also presentation, poise. I know there's a lot of trash out there on a lot of social media. This is where young ladies can look up to beautiful women who show what it is to be athletic and feminine with class. You don't always see that often. And they do a great job, positive role models for the young ladies, and really anyone who's into sports and to cheer, right? I don't want to just focus on females because everyone can do a cheer now. They also do some tumbling. So I know that's a new thing that they've had in the past and they're kind of bringing it back. So we are definitely going to be talking to the 6-shooters today.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that.
Cassie from the 6-shooters will be here in a little while. Until then, let's talk about some football because we did have a game on Saturday. And this particular episode, I decided to label it or title it 2 Gears because frankly, that was the offensive production of the San Antonio Gunslingers was in one of 2 gears. They were either in 10th gear and going full steam ahead, first play out of the box, scoring touchdowns, or they were in neutral. That's it. Those are the only 2 speeds they had. It was full out or it was neutral. They could not get any traction. Leo, we know some of the information that might have contributed to that. Not might have. I think it definitely did.
Yeah, definitely. Big time.
Fans will notice that Fred Payton Jr. did not start the game. And that was a little bit of a surprise. I know it was a surprise to me. Turns out Fred had been ill for most of the week. Joaquin had been taking all of the first team snaps. They had just decided they were going to sit Fred for the week, let him get well, and Joaquin was going to step in, and he was going to take the lead, and he was going to lead the team and lead the offense so that Fred could get healthy. Not a performance change, not a switch at quarterback 1. It's just, hey, this guy's not 100%. We're going to put in a guy that is 100% and go from there. In fact, Coach Bain told me that there was question as they were getting dressed about whether Fred Payton was even going to dress. They were talking about him not dressing, but ultimately felt like he was good enough to go if he was needed. he would give them a better opportunity to keep a hold of a game than any other option they have. So they went ahead and dressed him, even though he was still a little ill. And then, of course, we know that there in the third quarter, Joaquin Collazo gets a knee to the back, gets a contusion, and is kind of tender, and he's not able to go for the rest of the game. Fred had to step in, not 100%, not taking any of the first team snaps all week long to prepare and do what he could do. And so, Leo, when you have no quarterbacks at 100% against a team that you're, we hope evenly matched against, that means it's going to be very hard to win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, almost impossible. I mean, especially if you're playing a quality opponent. It's really unfortunate. Not unfortunate that Fred couldn't go. I think it's a great decision that Fred was, not slated to start, because that's why you have a guy like Joaquin Collazo on the team.
Right.
And Joaquin came out and I thought was doing his job. They were in the game. They could have even taken at least a tie going into halftime. He played well enough for that to happen, but there were some very unfortunate calls that went against the Gunslingers.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about those.
Whether those were, merited by the Gunslingers or not. I mean, some holding penalties and some other nonsense, but he was playing well enough to compete and be in that game with a quality opponent and possibly win the game until he went down and he was hurt. And then unfortunately the Gunslingers had no choice but to bring in Fred, and Fred was very obviously not 100%. He came in and did not play well. First two possessions were interceptions, bad interceptions.
Right.
Yes.
And unfortunately that was the turning point in this game. The Gunslingers were in it until that point. Once Fred turned the ball over two possessions in a row and San Diego took advantage of that, the Gunslingers were out of it, unfortunately. It
became academic at that point. What's sad is Fred really kind of got his feet under him, even not feeling 100%. Played the back half of his time in the game really well, but those two early turnovers when he is still, just not 100% and just kind of getting thrown out there and doing the best he can. That was kind of the game. That was kind of the ball game. I have never seen, and we've been watching indoor football for 6 years now, but I have never seen a team that could so consistently score on the first play over and over again like San Antonio was doing. But if they didn't do that, if there was a problem in the beginning of the drive, they couldn't move. They couldn't find any traction. They just it really was neutral. You could hear the engine revving, but they weren't going anywhere. And that happened a couple of times. But, man, if they hit that first play right, they could score. And they did it 4 times, if I remember correctly. 4 or 5 times. Were able to score on that first play.
Quick scores. Yeah. And it seemed to me that they were starting to kind of get into a rhythm. The defense was playing great up until about halfway through the third quarter, or earlier part of the third quarter when everything fell apart. But the defense was playing great, keeping them in it. And the offense was, taking advantage of certain opportunities, not so much on other opportunities, but the defense was keeping them right there, even though they had a couple of slip-ups, the early fumble, the turnover on downs. The turnover on downs, I think, was straight up due to play calling. Sorry, coach, but I just it didn't seem like obviously it didn't work. So I mean, and it's easy to go.
You're talking about the turnover on downs right down near the goal line, where we run on third down and that doesn't work. So we run again on fourth down. Yeah,
on fourth down. Yeah,
I'm not a coach. and I'm certainly not Coach Bain. And I defer to him. But obviously, it's really easy for me to sit here in hindsight and go, "Well, that didn't work. Maybe we should have done something different because that is not working, and it did not work 2 times in a row." I understand you do it once, and then you're like, you start to almost play these chess games in your own mind to be like, "Do I run it again? It didn't work, but now they won't be ready for it. Do they know? I know they know." You start playing that game with yourself.
But I know that you know that I know, so it clearly can't drink from the cup in front of me.
Right, exactly. So I clearly can't drink from the goblet in front of me. You start going circular and some of that. I think sometimes you just have to make a decision. But we'll talk more about football in a minute. But right now, we want to welcome in Cassie from the Six Shooters. Hey, how are you?
Hey, y'all. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. You guys are rocking and rolling. We're nearly halfway through the season already. Can you believe that?
I know. It's crazy. It's been a good one. It's been a crazy one though, for sure.
You've been very busy.
Yeah.
Graduating, getting engaged.
I know. Since the last time I was on the show, a lot has happened.
A lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, tell us, because you've been doing this for a few seasons now, what is different about this year? What has been different or new? You can certainly talk about, you've had some things going on different in your life, but even at the stadium or at the arena on a Saturday, what's different around the Gunslingers organization, around the Six Shooters this year?
Well, I would say probably one of the biggest things is that there's another coach. It was kind of, Coach Emily was brought on. She was a Six Shooter 2 years prior to now. And just with some of the things that I had going on in my life, it was pertinent that I had some help. I think I've said it before on the podcast. It's a full-time job that's not really meant to be a full-time job, but it is a full-time job. And so with just everything I had going on with graduating and starting my professional life, we decided to bring another coach in, and Emily was definitely somebody who is deserving of this job. And so she has been absolutely killing it. I actually had to miss my first game ever in 5 seasons this past weekend, which I was very sad about, but I had a family member wedding. And honestly, in the past, it hasn't really been possible for me to miss a game just because of the job and all it entails. But it was really nice to be able to go to my future sister-in-law's wedding this past weekend. And so Emily actually coached solo. So it was her first time to coach solo, my first time to miss a game. So that's probably the biggest thing. But it's really helped offload me. And so I'm very grateful for her. Other than that, it's pretty much been the same as it's been in the past. Obviously, we have some new rookies this season who have never been on the team before. Some things are different at the Freeman and just with the team in general, but the Six Shooters have pretty much stayed solid and stayed true to our traditions, which I'm very proud of. It's been going good.
I did notice that we had a new routine for Star Wars night, and you need to tell me where you got those shoes because they were so sparkly, and I wanted to know how come no one offered them to me.
Well, you should have told us, Miss RC. We have about 1 million of those.
Oh my gosh. I'll be right back. No.
We've had those forever, those hip hop shoes. We just don't often do hip hop. We always do a hip hoppy routine for Star Wars. And actually, we do a new routine every single game for halftime. There's never a repeated routine. The only routine that we repeat is pregame. But this past weekend's routine was choreographed by Carson. She was a Six Shooter last year. Yeah. And she is now a Houston Astros cheerleader. And she came back our routine along with Coach Emily. I actually didn't have a whole lot to do with that one, which was kind of different for a change. But yeah, so that's that's that. And we have a million of those, RC. You should have told us you like those.
Okay, I'm going to make some phone calls tonight. You'll be seeing me in those next game.
Okay, let us know.
Well, we've been talking about her for a second, but Coach Emily is joining us as well. So I'm going to toss her in here, and we're going to all get a lot smaller. But there's Coach Emily. Emily, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Great.
So tell us a little bit about your how you got here. How did you wind up as Coach Emily at this point?
Well, I started with 6 shooters for 2 seasons. I was on the team for 2024 and 2025, and then the opportunity just presented itself to work alongside Coach Casey. So this is where I am.
We were talking about you before you walked in the room, before you virtually walked in the room. You got to kind of run things this week with Casey being out of town. How did that go? What surprised you about stepping into that role on Saturday?
It was definitely a little nerve-wracking, but I've watched Casey. I shadowed her. I've been on both sides of things, and I'm a middle school dance director myself, so I understand kind of the ins and outs of what's expected of a coach during games and watching the time and kind of the micromanaging that you have to do. So my nerves were there, but they slowly just kind of died down because I was reminded of just how great the 6 shooters are and how helpful they are. So we really worked together to just go through the game, and it was a lot less nerve-wracking than I thought it would be by the end of the night. Definitely not at the caliber that middle school is in terms of stressing about the dancers.
Right.
But it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. So I got to just dip my toes into what it's like to run a game all by myself, but I just stuck with all the notes Casey gave me, the timeline, and she really prepared me and helped me get game day ready. So thank you, Casey.
You killed it, I'm sure.
That's sweet.
Who do y'all think was more nervous? Was Emily more nervous being in control, or was Casey more nervous not having control?
I think it was Casey. Me and her are the same.
I didn't actually have any service at the wedding I was at. I had no service. So I was like, here's the deal. I'm going to be off the grid. Like, if you need anything, you can try to get a hold of me. But honestly, like, texts weren't sending. I wasn't getting any text. So she was really on her own.
This is true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. So I know y'all have an event coming up. So will you please share some information about that? Because as you know, as a podcast, we try our best to give that opportunity to someone to attend camp. So just talk a little bit about that.
Well, I can start it out. Our kids camp is coming up on June 6th. We have a kids camp and a teen clinic, but I'll talk about kids camp first. It's Sparkling 6 Shooters is the theme. And what's really cool about kids camp is the counselors of the camp are the 6 shooters, but we also have a few awesome 6 shooters who volunteer to be kids camp leaders. And so they actually came up with the theme and all of the activities and routines that will be happening at camp. This year it's at Kathy Marfin's dance studio. And you can see the location there on your screen. It's ages 4 through 12. It's $70, but it includes a t-shirt, pom-poms, snacks, crafts, as well as 2 free tickets to the game on June 13th. And probably the big thing that everyone will be super excited about is this year we are inviting them to dance at halftime, which is a big thing. And we haven't done it for several years for a variety of reasons, but we decided that this year was the year we needed to bring that back. So yeah, if you are interested or have a little one who's interested, sign up. It's going to be a super fun day and just a really cool experience all around.
Yeah, and up if you're watching us live right now, up in the top right section of the screen, you're going to see a QR code. If you want to just scan that, it's going to take you directly to the Gunslingers website and that landing page for both the kids camp and the teen clinic, and you can sign up there. And so I'm going to leave that up for a few minutes while we talk a little bit more about kids camp and the teen clinic here, but that is up in the corner. If you're like, where do I go? How do I how do I sign up, or how do I get more information? It's right there for you.
Awesome.
What is your guys, because you guys have been doing this for many years now, what is your from your past experiences at these camps, like what is your most memorable moment with one of the campers?
I can share a little bit about my experience. So as I mentioned before, I'm a middle school director, so I get to promote 6-shooters and gunslingers to my girls, and it's really great when they get to participate in stuff like this. And I've had some of my dancers attend camp the past 2 years when I was on the team, so it was really great that they got to see me in a different element. It was really fun because they got to dance alongside me on the sideline, so they saw their coach be coached by someone else and see me in a different role. So it was really great. And they had so much fun, and they wear their little shirts to school all the time, and they tell their friends. And so my favorite experience was just seeing my girls there get to experience what I do outside of my main job.
Great.
And Cassie?
so, yeah, what's your favorite moment?
Oh man, I think honestly the coolest thing for me on kids camp days is getting to see, kind of like Emily was saying, but different, I guess, the girls that I coach sort of step into a coaching role. So for that day, they are the camp counselors. They are, the coach. They are the girl that those little girls want to be just like. And so I'm always very intentional about reminding them that, they are what these little girls are striving to be, and that they can make a huge impact on their life just by, saying something to them, or smiling at them, or doing something special for them, or, standing with them in line while they wait for their snack, or just talking to them about literally anything. I think those are the moments that mean the most. You might think it's like, the performance at the game or whatever, but I think it's the small moments that mean more. I had some experiences going to Dallas Cowboys cheerleader camp as a young girl. And I say this every time we talk about kids camp, that really shaped me as a person today, which sounds silly because I was like 10 when I went to those camps. But I think it really did shape me as a person, and it taught me a lot of the things that I hold near and dear to my heart, a lot about how to be a good person and how to work for your dreams and things like that, and definitely helped me get to where I am today. And so I think if as a parent, the best thing you can give your child is experiences like this, where they can be exposed to really great role models.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds crazy at all, even though you were 10 years old. I can remember going to, clinics with baseball players that would be held in our little town just north of Dallas. And, a guy that I'd never heard of before, but he was a Ranger. He was a Texas Ranger, and that meant everything. And getting baseball cards signed by him and spending the day getting coached by him and learning from him. And that I can still visualize that whole day. And I was, 12 or 13 years old,
right?
11 or 12 years old. And that was a huge deal. I don't think it's a weird thing at all. And I truly believe this is $70, and it is worth more than any video game you're going to buy them, any toy you're going to buy them, any outfit you're going to buy them. It's worth the $70 because I'm a few years from that experience in my little town, that pitching coach from the Texas Rangers, I think his name was Toby Huss, but that doesn't sound right. It was Toby something. I remember that experience vividly. I don't remember a lot of the other things that I did around that same age, but I remember this vividly. Why not spend, $70 is a lot of money today. That's almost a quarter tank of gas at this point. At $70, why not spend that on something that they're going to remember far beyond that video game or that toy, that outfit, whatever that is, experiences are worth way more, dollar for dollar, than anything else you can buy your kids.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I was going to say, my bowling partner, her granddaughter, I think she's gone either 3 or 4 years in a row, and she looks forward
Wow.
to this every year. And it's just amazing her growth, even in her skills, to see that from the first time she went, it was at that one high school off of near Commerce. We had no air. Not once did she complain because she was having the time of her life,
Oh,
and we've gone to over here at Northwest Vista. So we've had different places, which is great because that gives an opportunity for people all throughout San Antonio to attend these events. So that's just great. So just know that you are making a difference. You really are.
awesome to hear. Yes, we are so excited, and we hope that everyone who wants to join us can join us.
So what will be the difference? This is the kids camp. This is your 4 through 12 years old. And then when you get into the teenagers, you have the teen clinic, which is here on the screen now. What's the difference? Is this just the same thing with 2 different age groups, or is this actually going to be 2 different events? Tell us about it.
So this is all happening on the same day simultaneously. So we have the kids camp and we have the teen clinic. Just to have a more advanced option, this is going to be more technique focused and dance skill focused. So kind of subtracting the arts and crafts and focusing on the technique and the skill set, because these girls are leading up to the age where they are eligible to audition for 6-shooters, or maybe these are going to audition for college teams or even just their high school drill teams. And today's day and age, dance is really, really raising the bar. So adding this pro style technique and teaching them that now can kind of give them insight as to what to expect with higher level teams, such as 6-shooters or college teams. So this one, me and Casey will probably be working with closely on that day rather than the kids, because we're likely going to be leading them and what to expect if they're on 6-shooters. And so it's not much a clinic, but a really good introduction to what to expect if you're wanting to head in this direction.
Yeah.
And
Sorry. I'd also like to add, my favorite part about teen clinic that's different than kids camp is we have a really awesome mentor session, not only with Emily and I, but it's like a confidence building activity. And I don't know if y'all remember Michelle Rubio Garcia.
Mhm.
She actually had kind of conducted that the last 2 years. I'm not sure which kids camp leader, along with Emily and I, will be conducting that this year, but that has always been a very moving session for the teens. I just know like that age is a very difficult time to be in the dance world. It's very competitive and a lot of different, confidence issues can start to creep in when you're a teen. And so that's just always so moving to see the 6-shooters talk to those girls really honestly and just really get to the bottom of their hearts and boost their confidence and just see it grow throughout the day at camp. So I think that's my favorite part about teen clinic.
Jordan Stubing, who is listening, watching right now, said he's of the opinion, or he believes that some of our current 6-shooters actually came to the teen clinic in the past. He meant to say past, but is that the case? Do we have current 6-shooters that started out here at these events?
That's awesome.
We do.
That is.
Ayla, she's a 2nd-year veteran right now. She came to teen clinic the year before she made the team, along with Destiny, I believe, also came to clinic. Am I missing anybody?
No, I think it was just them. But look at them now. I mean, they seriously soared. And I think with the encouragement that this clinic gave them, it gave them an idea of what to expect for the team. And from what we've heard from them is this kind of pushed them to go for it. So
yeah. And it's cool because
Nice.
as young as age 13, in order to come to our prep classes, you have to be, I think 16 is the age limit. So it allows kind of that younger group that's going to start thinking about maybe where they're going to go with dance in the future to get a good head start.
Jordan wants to make sure that we know that April is actually the one that knew that information and texted that in. That was April on Jordan's phone. He just wants to make sure the proper person.
Clear.
Yeah,
I have to commend you on your theme here for the Teen Dance Clinic, Boot Scootin' Boogie. I am a 90s country boy. I grew up listening to country music in the 90s. I still have a huge Spotify playlist that I listen to all the time that is 90s country. I made it out of Frankenstein together about 8 other 90s country playlists and made one super playlist. Anybody wants that, hit me up and I'll send you a link to it. Nobody does. I know that. But
I do.
like that. Here.
I love the Boot Scootin' Boogie and the callback to the 90s country, which is becoming a really popular thing all of a sudden with Hannah Harper and country music where it is right now. It seems like it's kind of circling back around to sort of a 90s style of music, which I cannot wait for because I haven't liked country music in a while. But I'm ready for it to be back to what it was. But I just got to commend you. This is a great theme. Is this what's on the camp shirts? Is it Boot Scootin' Boogie on the teen shirts?
Yes. So the kids will get for the kids clinic, they'll have their own shirt, and the teen clinic will have a separate one to kind of differentiate them. And with our kids, 4 to 12 years old, there's a lot of different groups that we can do within that. So our goal is to differentiate them as well. But kids will have their design, sparkling 6-shooters, and then the teens will have their Boot Scootin' Boogie shirt. And just to kind of circle back to what we talked about with our halftime performance, our plan is for all the kids to kind of be on the field at once, but showcase their dance kind of individually. So the kids will have a separate dance than the teens. So just to clarify that the teens and the 4-year-olds will not be learning the same dance. They will be differentiated for different levels.
Well, one of the things that we as a podcast have been doing for the past couple of years, and it's really become, it kind of organically happened, but it's become one of my favorite things that we do is we have some Patreon folks, and we're going to talk about them a little later in the show. They help us pay the bills of just doing the show. But then beyond that, there's always some money left over. And so we want to make sure that there's not a little boy or little girl out there that wants to go to either Gunslinger camp or 6-shooters camp. If money is the only thing that would keep them from being a part of this experience, we want to fix that. We want to take that obstacle out of the way. And we do that with the Patreon money that we have saved up, but we also have been known, all 3 of us, to go into our own pockets, make that happen. We also have some amazing listeners that have gone into their pockets and paid when we have more people that need that opportunity than we have money available. We can find it. Money, this doesn't sound right in our day, but money is easy. Like, I can find money. I can't change your family schedule. I can't change your school schedule or your vacation that you're meaning to take that same weekend. I can't change any of that. But if money is the only reason you're going, I can find $70. I can get you to camp. That's not going to be a problem. We don't want to see anybody miss out on this opportunity over a measly matter of $70. We'll make sure.
Thank you.
We'll do whatever we can as a show. So if anybody's listening now, if you know somebody that fits into that, wow, she'd really love to go, but I know that family can't afford it. You get in contact with us and we'll make sure we get you registered, get you set up, and we'll take care of it.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Money is,
of course,
a hard thing right now, I know, for a lot of
it
folks. But I think this is worth more than money can
absolutely
really do.
For sure.
Yeah, we don't want that to be what holds back kids that are interested from this great experience and really opportunity. I will say, especially for both camps, but for the teen camp, like you said, you've had girls that have been on the teen camps and end up on the 6-shooter squad, And it's an experience that, if your child is interested in dance and interested in performing like that, then you can't top. I have to commend you ladies for the jobs that you do as the Gunslingers cheer squad and the six shooters yourselves. We've, as Gunslinger fans, we've seen some pretty great offenses. We've seen some pretty bad offenses. We've been through some really good defenses and some really bad defenses. We've seen some great wins and some pretty bad losses. But what we have never come out of a game and experience of the Freeman Coliseum and not got the W in that sense, the win there, is the six shooters performance. Every single game, consistently, every single time, you guys are just amazing. There's not a single person in the entire Coliseum that isn't appreciative and in awe of what you ladies do every single game and consistently. I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into that. And for these, to have an opportunity as a young person that's interested in this and able to attend, then it's, to me, it'd be like if I'm interested in dance, it's almost like if I'm interested in basketball and I get to go get trained by like one of the Spurs or a group of Spurs. This is what that is, and $70 is nothing for a type of opportunity like that, because you guys are that good and that committed and that amazing. I mean, I've heard Don Rackler say it, and many people say it. I've said it. The six shooters, you could put them up against any other dance team, and you guys are that awesome. I can't think of anybody that you can't just go up and show up or show out, or you hold your own against it, whether it's whatever level. You guys are amazing. So I've got to give you your kudos for that and tell you how much, as a Gunslingers fan, we appreciate you guys. And it's amazing that you do this and share this with young kids that are interested in learning and seeing what that's about, or experiencing this. So definitely have to say thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Those are
Jordan checking in.
We all have daughters. And so knowing that you all are amazing role models out there for our community, for the team, for young ladies, it just really means the world to us. And I feel like you really are making changes, positive changes in the lives of all, like the fans that are watching you. Even if they're not going to cheer one day, you show that you can be positive, you can be athletic, and you can be beautiful at the same time and support your city. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
Jordan and April checking in and saying, how many ever spots the Smoking Guns raises money for, Gunslingers will match the amount of sponsorships. I'm going to make deals right here on the air live, which may not be fair because hard to say no. Can we just do a 50-50 split? We'll cover half and you guys cover half, and that will make our money, whatever money we have, stretch a little further. You want to do that? And that way we're both picking up half and we're able to get as many kids as we can. And then the other thing I would throw out there, since this opportunity is available, if you have the ability to go ahead and go to your marketing, your graphics, or on the website, and add a line about scholarship opportunities are available. Do that, and really, I can't imagine that I can't find. You get 20 people show up and need help. I bet I can find it. I bet we can find a way to get it done. So I would encourage you, or I would ask if you could do that on your marketing, and that way we can get anybody who wants to be there. Money's not the thing that's going to hold them back.
Yeah. I have a lot of kids who'd appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Casey, I've had fans talk to me before in pregame and be like, it's always the same routine pregame. Now, you mentioned that your halftime routine's always different. Talk a little bit about the balance of tradition, having a tradition as a team, and then having something like dance teams traditionally have something that is theirs like your pregame routine. I know that the Kilgore Rangerettes, a big deal. They have a very specific routine that has been passed down from generation to generation as part of that dance team. Talk a little bit about that, having that traditional sort of part of your show.
Yeah. So funny you mentioned that. My sister was actually a Kilgore Rangerette.
Oh yeah.
But I think traditions are really what bring generations of teams together. And I think without tradition, you really don't have a solid organization. That's just my opinion. So in the past, I've had different opinions, like, oh, maybe pregame should change every game, and I've always fought for it to stay the same. We danced to "Loud" by Big and Rich, and
Right.
I gave Mr. Rackler loves Big and Rich. He loves that song. As you know, Gunslingers' big thing is, we want to be loud and have cowbells, and also they're very patriotic, red, white, and blue. We always honor our military, and so that song just really seems to fit our team. And so, funny story, I choreographed that routine the very first year that I became the coach, and it was our audition routine. And then it just kind of stuck, and we've done it every game since then. So that's been 5 seasons. So now for the past 5 seasons, every 6-shooter that has been on the team has done that dance. And so it's really cool that that's one thing that every 6-shooter can say, hey, I know that choreography, and I have a picture of me doing that move. And actually this year it was fun because we got to bring back the alumni. I'm wearing my alumni shirt.
Oh, I love it.
A little routine at the throwback game or retro night. And we used a lot of the moves from pregame. You may not have known because we used a different song, but it was just kind of cool because we got to do it with generations of 6-shooters, a couple of them who were pregnant at the time. So it's just like all kinds of cool, like, just traditions that our team has. That's not the only one, but it's a very sacred one. And I hope it can continue forever because I think it's special.
We need more shirts.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I agree. I think our 6-shooter jersey was a big hit last year.
Mm-hmm.
It
was.
It absolutely was.
Mm-hmm.
To the surprise of some people, I think it was one of the highest selling jerseys of the year, I believe, last year. So I would not be surprised. I think I got that right. I think that's what Jordan has told me in the past. Is one of the, now he originally, I think, created it for just the team, and then realized that there would be a demand for it, and so he had more made, or he had an overage and decided to sell those, sold out of those, and I think he had to reorder. And he doesn't have to reorder every jersey that they put out there. And I think I've got that story right. Jordan will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went down.
People still wear it too. People wear that jersey at every game. I see it at least once at every single game. I think it was a hit.
Yeah. I've worn it here, and that's why I wore this one, because I had already worn the other one. So I wanted to kind of promote this one too, because I love this one. I'm always cold, so I love the long sleeves.
I don't know.
Jordan,
is it?
Jordan, we need a shirt of the 6-shooters that has the 6-shooter 6-pack on it, like maybe the truck on the back, and then some 6-shooters on the front, Charlie's Angels style with the shirt cannons. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about the 6-pack. Who gets to go onto the truck? And is this an honor, or is it something that people are like, you go this time? I don't want to do it. How does that work out? How do y'all decide who the 6 girls on the truck are?
You can talk about that, Emily.
Okay, so we have this all is narrowed down kind of on who's performing a timeout at that game. So we have 5 sideline leaders, and they get into 2 pairs, and they work together to create timeouts, but that leaves one out. And so we dedicate that one sideline group of about 3 or 4 girls to be on the 6-pack truck. So there's kind of a little bit of, I guess you'd call it like girl math or something, going into how we make the group for the first part of the game and the last part of the game. So it's all dependent on who's performing this timeout and when. Okay, we have to make sure we have enough transition times. There's just a lot of kind of behind the scenes just to jump in a truck and shoot off some t-shirts. But it's really fun. So it's always going to be like one particular group of 3 for every game. And then we'll throw maybe some rookies in there. And we like to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to do the truck. And it's not just the veterans, but the rookies get their experience too. And this past game, I threw a rookie on the truck, not knowing it was her first time. And so it was really cool seeing them work together. And they're like, okay, this is how you work it and all this stuff. And so they really, really enjoy it. And after every t-shirt toss, we have kids swarming us, commanding that we toss them shirts. So we're like, look for the girls next time.
I actually,
Well, Emily, you may not know this, but back in the day, I was on that truck, but we didn't have those guns. It was all muscle. So I'd throw a shirt and it barely made the edge of the truck and fall on the ground. It was horrible, horrible. So I think that's why they got those guns, because of me, because I could not even throw the t-shirt anywhere near the stands. But just so you know.
they didn't have the t-shirt guns back when I
They
was.
didn't.
I
It
actually
was all girl muscle.
I got to do it the first time, and it was pretty awesome. I
We,
felt
we ran around in our little boots and skirt, just throwing them, hoping they'd get over the sections on the floor.
Yep, been there, done that.
yeah.
What's it like at a game like the Vegas game earlier this year, where things kind of get sideways for the team on the field, and the energy seems to kind of be depleting in the arena? You probably notice that more than we do. We notice it on the sidelines, but it's something that you're directly there to help try to mitigate or try to stop. What is that like when the game is not as exciting as we all hope it will be? Does that make your day harder?
I think the girls know the expectation of the energy and the response that we have to the game is just as important as how like the players react or the fans react. And, always smile if something goes wrong on the field. We don't react. We never know who's watching. We never know what camera is on us. And so it's important to always stay professional, and we smile and we cheer and we encourage them to be stronger and stronger every second of the game, despite a score difference or an altercation going on, because we know our expectations and we are professionals, and what we display can easily impact in a positive or a negative way the fans in the arena.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I mean, honestly, by the end of the game, we're feeling really tired, including Coach Emily and I. But especially when we are, like you said, like maybe the score isn't going our way, we have to crank the energy even more. And so I think encouraging the girls just to have, like Emily was saying, a positive mindset and display themselves in a positive light to kind of be examples for the fans, but also support the guys and the staff. I know it always just like hurts my heart when a game isn't going the right way to see April, Jordan, Mr. Rackler, Mrs. Rackler's faces. And so I always just try to give them a positive smile, give them a hug. And I try to make the cheerleaders do the same, just to be uplifting and promote positive spirit despite maybe something not going our way. And so I think that's what it's really all about. I've told Mr. Rackler before, what he does for the city of San Antonio is so much more than winning games, even though I want to win. Obviously, we all want to win. That's what helps keep us moving along. I think it's so much more, just like the fans being there and getting to experience the cheerleaders and the football players, like we were talking about. That's really so much more to me. And so we keep that aspect going despite the score.
Awesome. We love you. We love y'all.
We love you.
Yes.
Grateful for y'all letting us come on tonight to promote our camp.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. The six shooters are as big a part as the guys on the field. I realize that football is what brings a lot of people into the arena. That's kind of the main selling point, is you're going to watch football, but I got to tell you, we've been around this team since its inception, all three of us. And there was a time when there wasn't a dance team. And there's been, we know what a difference it is, what a difference it makes to have you guys there, you girls there, being what you are and doing the job that you do to entertain and to be put up in front of everybody in the stadium as the role models and the ladies that you are. I couldn't do, for so many reasons, couldn't do what you guys do. But just the fact that you have to keep a smile on your face when we're down 3 possessions, or you can't get frustrated when another interception comes up, and I couldn't do that. Like I'm not as loud as Leo is, but I am not very. You can read my face during the game. I've caught Coach looking over at me a couple of times when I have a look on my face, and I'm like, I got to change that. He's gonna think I'm mad at him. I'm just mad at the situation. I couldn't do what you guys do, and we really appreciate everything that the 6 shooters are and the big part of this entire experience that your ladies are.
We thank you.
Best in the league.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know why y'all don't win more awards at the end of the year. I really don't. It's beyond me.
We did good.
All political.
We almost got it. We almost did. We'll see.
This year may be the year.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Anything else you wanna share with everybody? Anybody that's listening now or listening later about 6 shooters or the Gunslingers?
I just want to say thank you to you 3 for always supporting Gunslingers and 6 shooters. We wouldn't be what we are if it wasn't for y'all promoting and being here and supporting. And so we're very grateful for the Smoking Guns podcast and all 3 of you, especially RC, our biggest fan. I'm convinced.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
RC is the one.
Yeah. And thank you, Emily, for helping me out this season. I would not be able to do it if it wasn't for you.
Oh, well, we make a good team. Me and Casey go way back. We
do.
So we're really the same when it comes to our coaching strategies and stuff. So I think that's what made this feel like such an even smoother transition. But y'all are wonderful. Thank you for our support and recognizing our hard work and everything that we put in to our performances. And all the girls are just so happy to be there. They are genuinely so happy to be there. They love game days. They have energy from sun up to sundown. And they're just ready to put on a good show for everyone. So
we girls, and I seriously can't brag about them enough. I didn't mention them yet, but we have some amazing girls this year, and they have been so supportive of everything I've had going on. They've been so kind to Emily coming in as a coach this season, even though some of them have danced with her in the past. So thank you to the girls for being awesome, and thank you to April. She is a huge reason this team has worked out for the past 5 years. She is everything to our team, and Robert, of course.
Yes.
Love Robert.
Yes.
Seco.
Man. Yes.
Oh,
He
The
makes
best
us
in the
so
business.
beautiful.
Like
yes.
the best
Mhm.
videographer in the business, and it's not even close. Like it's not even close.
Oh, yeah.
He puts together some amazing content.
Yes.
So good.
Yes. And we have
Well,
some
thank you so much.
too. Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, ladies. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do, everything that your team is, and we're so grateful to have both of you, both Casey and Emily, leading these ladies, and we're excited to see what's next, because we've still got half a season left to go. And Robert is watching, by the way. Of course, you know he is. Robert's watching.
Robert.
And sends his love, and truly the best in the business, just like you ladies. Thank you so much. That is Casey and Emily. They are the leaders, the coaches, the choreographers, and the everything for the San Antonio 6 shooters, the dance team for the Gunslingers. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Oh wow.
Love them.
I'm leaving up that QR code right over there. just on the other side of Leo, that is how you're going to get to camp. I know somebody's already used it. I already saw somebody mention in the comments that they had already used it to get registered. And again, if money is the only obstacle, that's not an obstacle. We'll figure that out. Jordan, somebody giving him a hard time about, is he going to wear the boots? And Jordan saying, no, not wearing the 6-shooter's boots. I
think you could pull it off, Jordan. I think you could pull off that look.
No, I don't think so.
You could. You would
a better chance with the red shoes than the boots, I think.
Yeah. Let's get back into the football game on Saturday that we watched. Because there's some things there, Leo, that we haven't covered. We alluded to them. This game, there are 2 plays back to back near the end of the first half that I'm just going to say it. We got screwed on. We got screwed on both of them. It's I know James Palmer has already said something about it once, and he'll say it again. It's all back to the 3 blind mask, the Timu refs. And he talks about the challenge that we lost, and that changed a lot. Leo, in the game of arena indoor football, when you contact the wall and you're in possession of the ball, the wall becomes the same as the ground, which means
part of the field.
If you fall on the ground and nobody touches you, you can get up and keep running.
If nobody touches you, yes.
Nobody touches you. Likewise, if you catch the ball and you run into the wall and rebound off the wall, you can keep running.
Yes.
Because if no one has touched you, if no one from the opposing team has touched you, you are not down by contact, you can keep playing.
Right.
Glenn Gibbons, near halftime, catches the ball, rebounds off the wall, will walk, and in fact does, walk right into the end zone with a touchdown. But because he hit the wall, a referee blew an inadvertent whistle. And that ends the play, Leo. There is no challenge to an inadvertent whistle. There is nothing that can be done. It's a screw up, but there's no way to fix it.
Right, because players hear the whistle and they think the play is over and they stop. And there's nothing
they should.
Yes, and you can't go back and do a do-over on that. Like, they stop play, so you can't really say what would happen after that whistle was inadvertently blown, even though you're right, Gibbons had nothing but green field and end zone in front of him. So it's hard to argue that it wouldn't have been a touchdown. But yeah, when there is an inadvertent whistle, the play automatically stops, and it really sucks. But what else can you do?
Yeah, there's not even a challenge. You can't lay a challenge flag down and say he wasn't touched. There's nothing you can do. It is just a screw up, and it's done. It's over. So on the I'm almost certain the very next play, Joaquin Collazo gets in a little bit of trouble in the backfield. He scrambles a little bit, and at the last second looks up to see a receiver wide open and alone in the end zone. He fires the ball in right in front of me. I'm standing there in our spot where we get to stand, and right in front of me, it's a touchdown, Gunslingers, except, Leo, there's a flag on the field. The holding call. And I'll be honest, I didn't see it. I was looking at the end zone. I was watching what was going on in the end zone. I saw the open opportunity about the same moment Joaquin did, because I started going, throw to this guy, and he was already firing it in there. So we saw it about the same time. At least that's how I'm going to tell the story. And so I didn't see the hold, but I did get a chance to talk to Coach Bain after the game. And he tells me that what we were looking at was not a hold, because our offensive lineman had his hands inside the frame on the player, backing him up, which is what you do. And that player tripped over his own feet as he was getting backed up and went down. And that's where the flag came out. Leo, if that's the case, and I haven't had time to go back and look at it, but if that's the case, that is not a hold.
Right.
Right?
Well, that's right. That's just getting trucked. Like,
yeah, that's just getting beat. That's an offensive lineman doing his job. And in this season, we need more offensive linemen doing their job. We've mentioned before that that's the unit that really hasn't showed what they could be, needed some improvement. And so to know that they're out there doing their job and getting penalized even when they do their job, that's hard to swallow.
Crazy.
That's hard to deal with. So for 2 straight plays, the San Antonio Gunslingers have an opportunity. And that was so important. I don't know if anybody remembers, the strike force are going to get the ball coming out of the half. And so the half there is important.
Yeah, it would have been a tie game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It ties up the game and it kind of evens everything out and lets us go into the second half with sort of an even game. That's not the way things worked out, Leo.
No.
So what can we, we can complain. It's not going to do any good. Isn't this something worth complaining about? I understand one call that screws you. 2 in a row.
As fans, yeah, we can talk about it and complain about it, but if I'm one of the coaches or I'm one of the players, it's you control what you control. You got to win the game. You got to leave it outside of the realm of where a bad call or 2 bad calls or 3 bad calls is going to decide the game for you. You take control and decide the game. And we just didn't have the bullets to do it this time. We had injuries. We had, a series of unfortunate events. I think, as I said before, the turning point was Collazo getting hurt, and then we had to put poor Fred out there, who had a rough week and really should not have been on the field. But he's our only option at that point. So what do you do? And it just from there, it just went downhill. And then it was, Fred, to his credit, made some great plays the game later on to kind of try and get back into the game. But by that point, when you're, mid third quarter or later and down, multiple scores, 2-3 scores, in this game, it's really, really difficult to come back from that. So give them credit, but
they tried. They did try.
We just didn't have the bullets this time.
I like that.
Yeah, at the start of the second half, I texted you and said we need 2 stops.
Yeah.
We got one right out of the box, right? I mean, on their first possession, we got a stop. But then we were not able to capitalize on that possession, on that turnover on downs. I think it was turnover on downs, or was that? Yeah, because Rivers' interception was early in the game.
That was turnover on downs. Yeah.
So turnover on downs, but we're not able to capitalize on it, and that is the point where it really just started slipping through our hands.
Turnover on downs. That next possession is when Collazo got hurt.
Right. Yeah, that's really where things just start slipping out of our hands. And at the end of the game, I give them a lot of credit. I give our guys a lot of credit. They did everything they could to try to battle back, but San Diego just had too much of a lead. There's a point where somebody is just too far out in front of you. No matter what you do, it's going to be a superhuman sort of thing to be able to climb back into this contest. And, they were just too far ahead. The offense started working near the end of the second half, near the end of the game, but we weren't able to get the stops that we had gotten earlier in the game at that point. And they were just too far ahead. They were just too far out in front.
The only thing that I will say, we're fans, so we like to second guess and we like to say, well, what if or why? That's what we do as fans. That's the nature of it. If you go in with one healthy quarterback, knowing that your backup, who's normally your starter, shouldn't be on the field. Why are you running the ball with your healthy quarterback? I would not draw up any running plays for my quarterback. If I would do my best, obviously, if a play breaks down and he's got to make a play, well, he's a football player. He's going to go do that. But some of those sure seem to be designed runs or RPO options, RP options. So I with one healthy quarterback on the roster, I would have thrown out that part of the playbook. That's just me.
I think just in the style of game this is, every single offensive play is ultimately an RPO play. Like, I think there's a run option on every single play. I think it's got to be there because things break down so quickly, and there's so limited targets out there in the field that I think everything has a certain built-in sort of escape hatch of a run built into it. I think it's just part of the game.
Throw the ball away, man. If you're the one healthy quarterback on the roster, you can't take hits. You can't be taking hits.
I would like to see Joaquin be, what's the best way to say this, a little more decisive when he has the opportunity. I think on the play he got injured. And look, I'm not saying he screwed up and got himself injured. Injuries happen. But I think that he waited a little too long to decide to run. And then by the time he decided to run, they were already the defense was already collapsing down on him and limited him to a negligible gain. And there were multiple guys there, and he ended up getting injured. I think, and again, I'm not blaming Joaquin for getting hurt, but I think if he's a bit more decisive in that moment, I think maybe that doesn't happen the same way. I would like to see, and I think I've mentioned this before this year as we've moved back and forth between Joaquin and Fred, I would like to see Joaquin be a little more decisive, a little quicker. I think that's something that Fred does, and it's just the nature of not having the same kind of protection in front of him that he wants. That's why Fred is a little more successful than Joaquin, because he is a little, even if it's the wrong decision, he's decisive, and he will make a throw that, ultimately ends up as an interception. Well, that's not a good thing, but he made the decision and he pulled the trigger and he did something. I see Joaquin hesitate just a little bit, and I think that causes him some problems. Maybe I should, I'll just say it that way. But back around to the officials, there's also a challenge. I know somebody mentioned that a few minutes ago.
James Palmer did,
Yeah, what was the challenge on? Remind me. I did not have a chance today to go back and watch the game today or yesterday.
James going to have to tell us, because I was wondering the same thing. Remind me what challenge we lost.
I know we challenged something, and I know we lost, and I thought it was on that hold, but now that I think about it, I don't think it could have been on the hold. I'm not sure, but I remember thinking I understand why we lost the challenge. I remember, James Palmer also forgot the actual challenge. I remember thinking when we lost the challenge, that kind of makes sense. It's very hard to prove. It's very hard to have the right camera angle to show that that's not what happened, or whatever the case may be. I wish I'd had a chance to go back and look at it again.
I think, was that a challenge that resulted in a fourth down or a turnover on downs? It might have been. Yeah. Yes. So it either resulted in a fourth down or resulted in a failure to convert.
Oh, I know what it was. It was 3 men in motion. It was 3 men in motion on San Diego, and Coach Bain challenged it, and I got one look at it up on the board, and it is so, like, it's a matter of how you interpret the rules, because his feet, the third receiver's feet, never moved, but he was in motion. Like he had started moving his upper body and leaning forward and started to take a step before the snap. And there were 3 guys in motion, but his feet hadn't left the ground yet. And so it was so on the line of just like how you interpret a receiver in motion that that I remember seeing the video after they made the ruling on the challenge and go, yeah, that's really hard to get them to overturn a call on that. It wasn't a full step, but he was definitely moving, and so it's very hard to like to
Well,
make
they call that against the linebacker on the defense.
Nothing happened.
I mean, that happened to us earlier this season where our linebacker didn't step forward. He kind of tripped a little bit. You remember that? And
I do remember that.
But his
Talking about
feet
it.
were set. His body just moved, and they still threw the flag on that. So if it goes one way,
which technically they're not supposed to flag that on the linebacker anymore. There was a time where that was you couldn't lean, but now that's not there anymore. But that's what it was. I'm glad I remembered it because I remember watching the video and going, man, that's really hard to get them to overturn on what I'm seeing there. Because if he'd taken a step, if he had actually been in motion, his full body been in motion, I think you get that call. But the fact that his upper body was in motion and his foot was coming up as the ball is snapped, in an absolutely letter of the law interpretation, I think he's in motion, but they're not going to rule it that way. Like they're just not going to rule it that way on a challenge.
Right. Yeah. But I can understand why you would challenge that if it goes one way, it's change of possession and you've got the ball now. Like it's a big play. So it warranted a challenge if there was some doubt that you might be able to turn that around in your favor.
Was it on? And look, we got to give the guys credit. Even if they're not on our team, we have to give guys credit when they make an amazing play. That might have been the play with the catch over the wall.
Was that the one all the way towards where the cheerleaders were? Because I remember Leo, you talked to Leo, and then Leo said, oh, yeah, you could see it better on the camera.
The one-handed catch over the wall was a catch, no doubt about it. The camera angle was perfect. It was a heck of a catch.
It was an incredible catch. I've gone back and seen that on a TikTok reel or TikTok, whatever they call them. I've seen the catch. It was incredible from that perspective. From where we were standing, Leo, you can't be sure it's a catch.
Right. I knew that. That's why I texted you. I was like, that was a catch.
All you see is a hand reach out, grab the ball, and him go over the wall. Well, I don't know what happens when he goes beyond the wall. The officials don't either. But it was an incredible catch. It was an incredible job. Might have been on that same play. It might not have been as well. But
speaking of catches, I know this happened during the game. Not everybody knows about this. And it's funny that you said, there you go. You said a ball slipped through your hands. This was the comedy of the game. So Steve-O was there. Philip was there. There was a ball that Tyler kicked the ball. It did a ricochet something. It comes to both of these men who now become like 7-year-old kids who don't know how to catch a ball. It's going up and up, one hand, two hand. They're roaming around. I don't even know how Philip got the ball, but it was hilarious. So then later on, I tried to reenact that, and it didn't work it wasn't as funny as it was, but it was the time of my life. It was hilarious. Two little boys trying to catch a ball with Yoda.
It was a kick. It was a field goal kick that missed. It might have been Tyler's for that matter. But it came down off the rebound net. We're standing right there under it. Steve Cantu reaches out and is able to toss it up and back. And then I reach out to grab it, and he knocks it up in the air out of my hands. And then he is in a position to reach up and grab it, and I reach up and knock it out of his hands, or knock it away from him. It flies over my head, over to Greg Nelson, who is standing there, who just reaches out with one hand, grabs the ball.
That's it.
And has it in his hand. And then he, kind of swings under and hands it to me, gives me the ball. And I got to tell this part of the story, even though it makes me look terrible. there were two little guys, two 12, 13-year-old boys right behind us in the section right behind us, right in the begging everybody for the entire game. Hey, Mr. Ref. Hey, number 33. Every kicker, when Ernesto Lacayo would come up, hey, 22, hey, 22, hey, 22, can I have that ball? Hey, 20. I mean, he's trying to kick the ball off, and they're asking for the ball. They really kind of annoyed me. It is what it is. They're excited about football. I understand all of that. I got a hold of this ball. Greg handed it to me. I set it down on the table, and these two guys behind me go, Mister, can we have that ball? And I turned around and went, no.
Pastor who? Not even there. Not even in there.
I'm keeping it.
Not at all.
I'm keeping that ball, and it's not even going to my grandson. It's going into my collection. Is that wrong? Maybe. Probably is. I probably should have done something different. You know what? James Palmer says you're supposed to return the ball on a kick. They did not make that announcement.
They sure did not.
I never heard that announcement this particular game. And
but you've heard it before.
If they want the ball, they can come take it from me. They never came and got it, so I have a ball. Okay?
And if you see the pictures that I posted, you'll see these three kids that you see them like playing with the swords. Those were the same three kids. They had the time of their life. When they weren't asking for the ball, they were playing with their little sabers and jumping up and down. I had more fun looking at them. Well, no, I had more fun looking at you bobble the ball.
When were they not asking for a ball, though? They were asking for a ball for the entire game.
When they weren't, they were with their swords playing. They had a great time.
So, yeah, that was a great catch by Greg Nelson. I mean, he did. It's popping up in the air. I can't get a hold of it. Steve can't get a hold of it. It flies over by Greg, and he just reaches out one hand and grabs it and pulls it in.
Greg would have made a great receiver or baseball player when he was a younger man, because I have seen him do that at least on one other occasion, one-handed catch of that ball. Like he's got good hands to catch. So maybe he missed an opportunity when he was younger to be a professional athlete.
April Trotter, going back to the one-handed grab from the player, says he caught it one-handed and started kicking the poop out of our player. Then our players punched him, and the ref throws the flag on us. I'll tell you something that I learned a long time ago in sports. It is always the guy that retaliates. It's always that guy. It's never the guy that does it first. This is big in hockey. If you're a hockey watcher, anytime you go by and you cross-check somebody into the boards, no penalty. But that guy gets up and takes a swing at you or comes back and cross-checks you into the boards, that guy gets a penalty. It's always the guy that retaliates.
The Wemby elbow.
Yeah, the Wemby elbow was
retaliation.
Yeah.
Yep. It sucks, but that's sports.
Well,
James Palmer says
we missed you, Leo, but we had a good time.
Well, good. I'm gonna be there for the next one for sure. I'm having a rough year. Missed 2 games this year. I hadn't missed a single home game since the Gunslingers started, and I've had to miss 2 games this year.
So 2 this year for good reason, though. Like,
yeah,
we won't go into all of it, but it's worthwhile. It's a good reason. James Palmer says, you know what irks me? A San Diego player gave a fan a ball and no penalty. What? If we do it somewhere else, we get called for it.
Now that's wrong. Yeah. No. How do they get away with that? That should have been a penalty.
Well, I don't know how they got away with towards the end of the game, or was it the end of the game? There were these 2 young ladies who were like a little bit maybe too interactive, and they were sitting on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And a player comes and she's recording him because he's kind of being ugly, and he slaps the phone out of her hands. And then she was about to go over the wall. And I thought, oh, Lord, here we go. But that was bad. That was bad behavior. I did not like their sportsmanship.
To be fair, those ladies, I know who you're talking about. They were right about midfield, actually a little closer to us.
They were a little rowdy.
They were giving them hell the whole game. I mean, the whole game, they were giving lots of grief to the players. And so I'm not excusing players doing anything. Like, you've got to be a professional. You've got to rise above it. You've got to realize those people paid for their tickets. However, I certainly, they gave a lot of grief, and they were getting it from the players and giving it back. It was a back and forth. They were having a great time. I know April does that too.
April did too.
With players.
Yep.
But I know who you're talking about, and I'm not saying that, yeah, they deserve that. No, but I understand how somebody let their emotions kind of boil over in a moment. It's not right, but I get it.
You talk smack to the players. I mean, that's part of the fun of being right there, and
It is.
and they'll talk smack right back to you and laugh with you and everything. But sitting on the wall is taking it too far. You can't do that.
It was.
Yeah, she was kind of leaned up on
that.
the wall, like she was standing on a chair and like leaned up over the wall. That's where you're starting to get out into their area, and that's going to cause problems. It's just going to cause an issue.
That's dangerous. Yeah.
Well,
But
I kind of do that on the end zone. I kind of stand on that little lip, and then I kind of lean myself forward.
That's different. I mean, they were up on a chair and leaned over. Like, she could have lost her balance and fallen into the field of play, honestly, a couple of times that I saw her. But back to this ball incident, San Diego player giving one of our balls away to somebody else, to a fan. That's not a penalty. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be allowed to do that. We've talked about this before. We brought it up before. I know I'm harping on something, some people that are not listening to us, but there's no reason that a player, no matter who the team is, giving the ball to a kid can be a penalty, or giving it to a podcast host shouldn't be a penalty. Whether they're on the San Diego team or the San Francisco team or the San Antonio team, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are. They should be able to interact with the fans and give them a ball. It doesn't matter. Get rid of this rule. It's stupid.
We've created a monster.
It is a dumb rule, but we've been penalized for it, they should too.
Yeah, but we got to be the bigger people and go, hey, I'm okay with it happening. If that means that rule goes away, if that means that rule doesn't exist anymore, I'm okay with it happening for us first, or against, or with us, for us. I don't know how to say that, but I'm okay with it if that leads to the rule going away. Chase Risman says Kevin Guy would sue the IFL if the Rattlers were penalized for giving a fan a ball. Yeah.
Oh God!
Possibly.
Don't bring him up.
Possibly. Overall, it wasn't the game we wanted, but when you know some of what's going on sort of behind the scenes, and I realize we don't get a lot of that information. That's why you come here. I hope that's why lots of people were asking the question, why is Joaquin starting? I had to ask the question because I didn't know the answer. And that's not anybody's fault. If you're not required by the league to give that information out, you don't.
Right.
Because there's no reason to give them extra information, that your opponent extra information. I've always been of the opinion that the IFL should force teams to make injuries and injury reports just like the NFL. You have to give out an injury report every day. And if there's somebody injured or limited in practice, you have to list it. You're required by the rules to list that information. But if they're not going to force that on the league level, I don't blame Coach Bain for not saying anything and for not getting that information out there. You have to come here the week after and go, hey, what was up with that? And that's fine. We can do that. James Palmer says you could give the info out. The league probably still wouldn't update it on time. Yes, you're right. That's correct.
Yeah. True.
And even if they put it on the website, they might put the wrong name. I've seen that before. Somebody needs to do better over there as far as the stat keeping and the players' names and stuff.
So now we host. There you go, Leo. There's your job. You need a job?
You gonna pay me?
Well, I won't, but maybe they will.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
You have an experience.
So that game is over. We're back at 3-4. I know I saw some fans that immediately took to social media and here's what's wrong with this team. And they got very upset and we just want better. Remember, we just came off a 3-game winning streak. Like, let's be careful getting super upset with this team. They did just win 3 games in a row. They weren't going to win 13 in a row. Like, we knew that wasn't going to happen. And now that you have some more information about what's going on at the quarterback position, maybe you understand why this was a game that was going to be very hard to win.
Yeah,
with
the
2 guys
frustration
that are 100%.
Behind the scenes. We didn't know behind the scenes. Now we do.
Their frustration was with the offense, and the offense really had their hands tied behind their back, especially after halftime.
Right.
And up to halftime, you couldn't really complain a whole lot because they were in the game and they were doing well. I think Goyaso came in and was doing a good job. Yes, there's some indecisiveness there, but all that being considered, you know, that confidence comes with taking more snaps, and you know, he hasn't been getting the snaps up until this week in practice. So, you know, I think he was doing exactly the job that you expect your talented backup quarterback to come in and do. I think he was doing an admirable job, and I think things might have been different had he not got hurt. So I understand the frustration, as you said, Philip. I just think it was bad timing to put it out there.
Yeah. James Palmer saying, because he mentioned that they can't even get this game on the air on time, the league. He said he has emailed overnight about the games being aired on time because this is the 2nd game in a row for the Gunslingers that has not been aired correctly. And they blame the league. I will say this. It could be the league. It could be overnight. We did not have this problem before. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
And we're paying for it, which is what gets me really mad, because I paid for this. And now this is the 2nd game in the last few weeks that I missed portions of, not because I wasn't able to, not because I wasn't there and logged in and ready to watch. It's just because it wasn't there. And then what's thrown up is event delayed, which is not the case.
No, the event is happening.
Nothing was delayed. It's happening. You're just not showing it to me. And I paid you to show it to me.
Right. I understand your frustration. I share your frustration. If I'm paying for it, I have a reason to complain. If it's free, if you're just going to give it to me for free, I can't complain about it. You get what you pay for. But at this point, I'm paying for it. You need to give me what I'm paying for. April Marie Trotter talking about 2-year head coach Bain. Yeah, we've talked about this before. For some reason, the league or overnight or whoever does the broadcast, because I think it's been on both Yahoo and overnight, has always popped up a graphic when they interview Coach Bain about 2nd-year head coach of the Gunslingers, Coach Bain. And that's just not true. We started the season last season with Tom Manaff. When he left the team, we went to Coach James Fuller, and then Jonathan Bain took over at the beginning of this year. This is first year. Jordan with some new news. The CEO of the broadcast company was at the game in the war room and told me that it was overnight's issue. I believe that. I would believe that 100%. And again, league issue, overnight issue, either way, we did not have this issue before. We had one broadcast in 3 years at the Freeman Center. 4. There was one broadcast that was really garbled, but it was still out there last year. Aside from that, I don't think we ever had this issue of not getting games online on the air when Texas Sports Productions and their great folks were taking care of things. It was happening. So next home game should have someone video call so you can see it. Ralph talked about doing that on the Discord channel at one point. Like, do I need to pull my phone up and show the game on the Discord channel so that people can see it? Well, we got another game this weekend. Tulsa coming to town. It's a chance for us to get a little revenge. Get back into a winning way. We lost one. Hopefully we can have at least one, if not both of our quarterbacks back at 100%. And we can go in against Tulsa. And it is Military Appreciation Night, one of my favorite events of the year. They always do it right. They always do a great job with Military Appreciation Night. And I know earlier, April was asking I don't even know if I can find it. It was a long time ago. She was asking. She said, "Do we have a fan jersey for this game?" You bet we do. You want to see it?
I
Anybody want to
do.
see it?
I want to
You ready?
see. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
This is what we call. Here you
A
go.
drum roll?
Here's the salute service Gunslingers jersey for military appreciation.
I like it.
Jordan, is the other one also going to be on sale this week? That would be not the one you sent me.
love it.
That's a teaser, but the one that you sent me with this one, is that also going to be for sale? Do I need to show that one too? Is my question. But here is your Gunslingers military appreciation jersey, large gunslinger graphic on the front, salute to service up on the what is that, the left hand shoulder if you're looking at it, American flag, and on the back 76, obviously a reference to 1776 and the birth date of our nation, Gunslinger on the back along with the crossed guns.
Very cool.
And then Jordan says, yes, that other one is also for sale. So I'll show you the other one. This is the patriotic variant. And there you go. It is red, white, and blue flag on the front and back with the stars and stripes. It's got the large Gunslinger logo on the front, 2 Gunslinger logos on the sleeves, and then 76 on the back with freedom on the nameplate. So those will both be available this week at the game against Tulsa. I don't know that I want to leak the teaser I got just yet, simply because there may be changes on it. Huh?
We kind of leaked it a little bit. You just talked about it.
I did.
Jordan
I talked about it.
The third one that will be available, he says.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now in my he texted it to me. Hold on. Let me see. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, while Philip is looking up that part
that they're going to have those guys come down from the ceiling. I love that part.
From the Jumbotron, that's awesome.
Yes.
When they come rappelling down. Yeah,
Yes,
I mean they've done that the last couple of years. That's always a really, really cool part of the celebration, the pregame celebration. So I would think that's going to happen this year.
So Jerry's going to the game too. So I always, like I said, I love my veteran.
Once we're past this, I want to backtrack a bit and giving also Philip time to get that file, but I do want to track back a bit since I was not there.
Mm-hmm.
I could not be there, and Chase Risman mentioned it earlier in the show, and I saw that Philip actually starred his comment for later. I want to know about this Star Wars themed intro video that, since we're talking about pregame stuff, that he said he really wanted to send a shout out on. He obviously really, really liked it. I wish I could have seen that. If it's available to see out there somewhere on the interwebs, Seco or Jordan or anybody that might know, definitely let us know, because I would like an opportunity to catch that somewhere. But I definitely want to talk about that, or want you guys to tell me a little bit about it before we end the show. So just putting that out there.
He said,
Go
ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, I know I forgot the name of someone who I took a picture with, that he said that I think he got a ticket from you, Leo.
Yes, that was David Perry.
David Perry. Well, hello, David Perry.
He got my ticket. He has been at the watch parties this season. He has been at multiple watch parties in past seasons and at the games. I've seen him at the games. But at the away games, when there's watch parties, more often than not, he is there. And he has like throwback memorabilia from like the original San Antonio Gunslingers, which is how I first talked to him, because I really liked his original, back from the 80s, a Gunslingers jersey that he had on at one of the watch parties. But yeah, David Perry, nice guy. I'll have to tell a story about at some point, not this show, but he collects football memorabilia in San Antonio history, and he had one that there was a connection to Coach Bain on, and he actually gave it to Coach Bain, thinking this will mean more to him than it does to me. And I want to ask Coach Bain about it next time he's on the show. So I'll save it for them. But yeah, David Perry was there, and hopefully he had a great time down there in the party zone with you guys.
You made us feel welcome.
The third version, the third fan jersey that will be available, it's a little different way than we usually get them, but here's images of those. Here's the front first. It has that corrugated metal sort of pattern on it. 26 in stars and stripes. The stars, blue stars on the two, red, and white stripes on the 6. Gunslingers up above that, and then we can sing around to the back. Same numbering. It says Patriot across the shoulders. It says Land of the Free up under the numbers, and has the service medallions for the armed forces. And it says because of the brave down at the bottom at the shirt tail. Yeah. Red, white, and blue sleeves, or blue field of stars on one sleeve, and red, white stripes on the other sleeve, and then Gunslingers logos on both sleeves.
Land of the Free.
Is that the Space Force logo on the bottom?
Because of the brave.
It is.
Yes.
Yep.
I like that.
It's
I like
Space
that
Force down there. I believe I also see, obviously, we see the Navy, the Army, and the Marines up on top. And then below, I see Air Force, and I believe that's Coast Guard. It's in a fold, so I'm not sure, but I think that's Coast Guard and then Space Force there. So that will be available also. And then Jordan wanted me to go ahead. He's already started work on Superhero Night, which will be June 13th. That's the same night that the girls will come and perform, or the kids that perform at halftime. We'll do that from camp. But it's also Superhero Night, and he has already put together one variant of the Superhero Night, and he said, go ahead and leak it. I want some input. I want some feedback. So here it is. It is a Punisher themed jersey. Black and white.
I love it.
This one, it's like a dart right through my heart with this one. Like, oh man, Jordan, you killing me, Jordan. That's awesome. I love it.
It says,
I love the front.
Says the Gunslingers high up on the chest in white, and the jersey is black. It's got the Punisher skull front and center on the back, or on the front. On the back, it says San Antonio on the nameplate. 26 is the number, and then it has a Punisher, but with a football helmet with barbed wire along the stripe of the helmet. Black and white Gunslingers logo up on the sleeve, and guns up on the high on the right chest, left chest, depending on whether you're wearing it. And then bullet holes strewn throughout the jersey on both the back and the front. Also planning, he says, a new Spider-Man due to the new movie this year. Taking suggestions. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of doing Spidey because my grandson, my 2-year-old grandson, he has some favorite things in the world right now: pizza, which he calls Peeba. He loves baseball. Of course. He loves baseball for some reason, and he loves Spidey. And so if a Spidey jersey hits I may have to get one. They don't make them in his size, but I may have to get one. I would have to, jump out there and get one and take one for the team, so that I have a Spidey. So those are some jersey options that you have coming up. 3 different options this Saturday at the Freeman Coliseum. And don't wait, because the Mandalorian, the jersey that Leo's wearing here, sold out. All of those are gone. If you wanted to get your hands on one of those and did not on Saturday, tough cookies. They gone. They're gone. So don't wait. Don't waste time. And you got to come to the Freeman Coliseum to get a hold of them. So, what do you think? Which one did you like the best, Leo, of the three that'll be available this week?
This week, I mean, they're all awesome, but I really like the camouflage one.
Yeah, I agree. It is good. Is it better than last year's military one? Well, we all know how much I love that one, and so I would say it's good.
That one's gonna be hard to top. That one's gonna be hard to top.
I like this one.
Yeah. But I like this a lot. I'm a big fan of this. Absolutely. And we take on Tulsa. Oilers coming to town. We need to go ahead and send them back with their tail between their legs. Start off this new season. James Palmer said something about my shirt. If you'll notice, I'm wearing a fishing shirt from the San Antonio Gunslingers. Got the logo right up here on the chest. I have a few of these now. They came to me through some, let's just say, some interesting avenues. I was able to get a hold of some shirts. Some folks that used to work for the team that don't need their stuff anymore were able to send them through, and now I have some new Gunslinger shirts, which I have worn.
Thinking you're special.
I am special. I think we all know that. Jordan Stimming said, I knew I was going to catch heat in that with us talking about the last year's military appreciation jersey and how this one is good, but not that. Hey, it is what it is. James Palmer, by the way, big instrumental in me getting a hold of this shirt. That's why he wanted to point out, and I want to say thanks to him and our benefactor that was able to get those shirts. He's got a few, I've got a few, and we want to send a thank you out to that person that will remain nameless for now. You don't have to think too hard to figure out who it is, but it is what it is. Leo, how important is this game?
Pretty important.
Tulsa game.
Pretty important. I mean, we're still in fourth place,
right?
We've got a 2-game lead on the next team behind us.
Yes, we do.
So we're kind of in our own driver's seat right now.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we continue to win games, we're in the driver's seat to make it to the playoffs, which is the goal, to get into the playoffs. So, this last week, I think, was a missed opportunity.
It was,
for a number of reasons. It was an opportunity to prove to ourselves, a measuring stick to playing San Diego and the rest of the league. And unfortunately, what happened for a variety of reasons. So now with the next game, being at home and now playing Tulsa, one, we want to get revenge against those guys. It would be nice to get revenge, but also just to kind of get back into that winning column, get back into the groove of winning games, and staying ahead of those other teams in the standings.
Right.
So it's not a must win, but it's an important game because we want to stay in fourth place and maybe even better, but we don't want to kind of fall back into the crowd where we're fighting just to get back into the top 4 in the Western Conference.
Right.
Chase Risman chimes in and says it's not important. It does not impact the Western Conference playoff standings. And I would say to you, Chase, if we start doing the math like that, the next 3 games are all games against Eastern Conference opponents. It's Tulsa, it's Green Bay, and then we go to Jacksonville. It's Tulsa, and then we go to Green Bay, then we go to Jacksonville. Those are the next 3 games that the Gunslingers play. We cannot lose all 3 of those games, even though they're Eastern Conference games.
Right.
Can't do it. Can't happen. We need wins,
That's a
not
no-go.
losses, even if they're Eastern Conference opponents. I think this is, it may not drop you in the standings, but you can't just be giving away games simply because they're Eastern Conference games at this point.
Right.
Our next conference game is not until Saturday the 13th. That's that superhero game against New Mexico. James Palmer brings up a great point. NAS has made some changes. Northern Arizona has made some changes to their team. They got a win this week, finally, their first time of the year, but they looked like a completely different team getting that win. And so we cannot sit back on our laurels and go, hey, we're in the fourth place spot and we can stay right here, because we can get challenged for that. It's not too late in the season for us to deal with a challenge coming from below us. So
yeah. And the other thing is we need to win this game because we kind of got to get back into the mindset of winning, because the next two games are going to be tough on the road. Two
That's true.
tough
Green Bay,
games following
Jacksonville.
that up. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a game that you really want to get put in the win column. I think it's important. True, Chase. It's not a conference game, but I think after losing this past week and letting that opportunity pass us by, it's kind of important to make a statement, not just to the rest of the league, but I think even more so importantly to ourselves as a team, the Gunslingers.
Like, I noticed that there was more people at this last game, and it could have been one that we won 3 in a row, in addition to being Star Wars night. So I think every time we can get a W at home, that it boosts the energy, it boosts the fans, and they come out more because we're in the win column. So I'm going to go ahead and say, no, we need to win this game.
I like what April Marie Trotter says. I'll pull up the comment here because it's in line with your theme for this show. 2 gears.
Yes.
And sitting in the driver's seat, and now we need to punch the gas and get some more wins. We need to get out of that. No more neutral. Let's get it in gear. Yep. I like that.
And there's no excuse for San Antonio to not show up. There is no Spurs game on Saturday night. They play Friday night and they play Sunday night. They do not play on Saturday. So they cleared the way. They cleared out the Western Conference Finals. They were like, hey, we cannot have a game on Saturday at the Frost Bank Center because the Gunslingers, our buddies, the Gunslingers are going to be playing over at Freeman, and we can't take away their spotlight. So they moved. They set a Western Conference schedule that made sure that we could enjoy a Gunslingers game between that. For that matter, no, those 2 games are definitely going to happen. Those are games 2, 3, and 4. So those games are happening no matter what. They may be the last 2 games of the Western Conference Finals, but they are happening. So AT&T Center. I thought is it the AT&T Center now? It's not the Frost Bank Center anymore?
It's the Frost Bank.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it used to be the AT&T Center, and now it's Frost Bank.
It's Frost Bank Center. There that the Spurs play in right next to the Freeman Coliseum. It actually is really nice that those schedules don't collide because parking and the madness around that during the game would be nuts. So it's really nice that falls that way. I don't think the NBA cared, but James Palmer says we got to start winning against the better teams because if we stay in that 4th spot, we have to play Vegas. And we have not played anyone close to them. Yeah, you're right. Playoffs started today. My favorite thing in the world. If the playoffs started today, we would have to play Vegas. And nobody wants to do that right now. We do have to play Vegas one more time this year. We play them at the end of June in Vegas on the 27th, last week of June. We have to go play Vegas. So it is what it is. You got to get the wins now. I'm like you, Leo, and I would say they're not important on the record, but that really doesn't matter. We have to win the games we can win. And a 2-5 team, James Palmer said, Tulsa's better than the record they hold. I remember Bill Parcells years ago saying, "You are what your record is," and Tulsa's 2-5, and we're 3-4. That means we should win this game. Just if Bill Parcells is right, and you are what your record is, we're the better team. We should win the game.
And we're at home.
That's
we're
true.
here at home. Yeah, absolutely.
And we got the 6 shooters. So there.
The Smoking Guns podcast is a podcast about football in San Antonio, specifically about the San Antonio Gunslingers, and we are brought to you by some amazing folks that do an amazing thing for us and put their money on the line month in and month out. Those folks are Robert Seco, Mo and Iris Ferrante, James Palmer, Jay Washington, Jordan Stubing, Kim and Greg Nelson. Oh, and I forgot Jessica Parker. She should go on that list too. They take a little bit of money each month and send it to us through Patreon. That helps us pay the bills for this and helps us send kids to camp. You've heard a little bit about that today, but it's something that all three of us are very passionate about. We want these kids to have an experience that they can enjoy this summer, an experience they won't ever forget. And so we don't want money to be an obstacle for anybody. So we are partnering with the San Antonio Gunslingers to make sure every kid that wants to go to camp can go to camp. And the way we do that is through our Patreon sponsors. If you want to be a part of that list and help us in that goal, you can go to patreon.com/smokinggunspod. That's smoking no G, guns with a Z, P-O-D. And you can sign up at a $10, $5, $10, or $20 level each month to help us make the show go and send kids to cheer camp and to football camp later in the summer. What else do we need to talk about? You can find us on social media, Smoking Guns Pod. We're all over the place. Smoking no G, guns with a Z, P-O-D. Anything else we need to cover? Anything we missed? It was so nice to have Casey and Emily come and join us and talk a little bit about. I think people forget sometimes. They take for granted that the six shooters exist. And RC, you specifically remember a time when you were begging previous ownership to have a dance team, and they were just, that wasn't a priority. They got around to it eventually, but for a while we were asking for it, and that just wasn't a priority because they only had so much limited funds.
Stay above water. That's really what their priority was.
Yeah, absolutely. But we know what this team looks like without a dance team. You're a big fan of theirs. I mean, we all are, but you're kind of the six shooters cheerleader. You don't cheer on the six shooters, but you cheer for the six shooters in every way that you can.
And I could, but they have that 2-piece criteria. That's the only reason why I haven't tried out. You know that.
Right. It's the And Leo and I don't play on the team either. So hey, we're not going to give you a hard time on that. Make sure that you show your appreciation to the ladies out on the course, or out on the field when they take the field. Give them the standing ovation they deserve every time they take the field. You're right, Chase. We should do bullseye and bullspit. I don't know that we've been doing it the past couple of weeks. Chase Risman says a massive bullseye to the Gunslingers for the Star Wars montage video, particularly the Sabine Rim clip. Bullspit, nothing. I love it. He doesn't see anything that he's worried about or upset about. Leo, I know you weren't at the game. Do you happen to have, off the top of your head, a bullseye, bullspit moment?
Oh.
I'll give you a moment to think about it. I bet RC has something. RC, what do you got?
Well, my bullseye was when the lights would go down and all the fans would take the sabers and they were just moving all over. I felt like a kid again. It just was the best feeling knowing that everyone is out there just really enjoying the team and that moment. So to me, that really was a lot. The bullspit, I would say, I don't know. I really had a good time. I really did. I wish we would have got a W. But it was, I don't have one. I really don't. Maybe I'm more like Chase than I thought I was.
All right. Leo, did you come up with something?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the bullspit. The bullspit is the injuries. To both of our quarterback and the starting quarterback being sick, just dealing with issues that keeping our guys off the field. It's hard. So that's definitely my bull spit. And the bullseye, I have to say, it's not anything related to the field, but it's more about the community and the fan base and the fans. I mean, we alluded to it earlier. I missed a couple of games. I missed this game. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. But you know, my daughter had my grandson very prematurely, unfortunately, a week ago now. And you know, we've obviously have been going up to Austin to be with her and support her and see the baby, little Nico. And you know, it's been a concerning time, but it's also been a happy time because obviously Nico's here and he is doing well. He's doing great. You know, every day he's a fighter and he's gaining weight and he's eating and you know, everything they throw at him, he's passing all the tests and doing well. But it's hard to see your grandchild in an incubator with all the tubes and everything that goes with, you know, being born prematurely. But the support that I've gotten from you guys, you know, Philip and RC and checking in on us and seeing how we're doing, the family and the prayers, and also the extended prayers that I've got from some of the members of the fan base that were familiar with the situation and I've talked to over the last couple of weeks. The prayers and the thoughts and you guys reaching out, definitely very much appreciated. I love the San Antonio Gunslingers and I love the San Antonio Gunslingers fan base. You guys are amazing and awesome and are followers of the show. So thank you very much for the support you've given me. It's hard not being at the games. You know, I've been trying to be the best fan that I can be over the years, but you know, things come up and sometimes they got to take priority and you're not there, of course. But
Family first.
I feel you guys, you know, support even not being there at the game, and I'm there with you guys at Spirit. So definitely appreciate all of that. That is my bullseye for sure.
Yeah. And add little Nico to your prayer list if you're that kind of person, and just pray for him and pray for mom and dad and pray for grandparents because they're all dealing with a lot right now. There's a lot that goes into that premature and all of the things. They're great doctors doing a great job, and Nico's
Definitely.
fighter. He's going to be great a year from now, 2 years from now. He's going to be just like little Caleb running around and loving Spidey or whatever his cool thing is. And this will all be a memory. But right now in this moment, it's tough. So be praying for them if you're that person, if you're that kind of person. My bullseye would be just a thanks to James Palmer and to our mysterious benefactor who made something that I've been asking for a long time happen for me. And I have some San Antonio Gunslingers work appropriate apparel that I can wear to the office. I can wear around town and still look somewhat professional with a collar and all of those things. I know that I've asked for that or I've begged for that, and the Gunslingers have other priorities rather than taking care of the podcast guy and making sure he has clothes he can wear. So James and our benefactor that work together to make that opportunity available to me, and hopefully pass some of that on to Leo here shortly, will be nice. That's my bullseye. Thanks to both of those guys. My bull spit is actually, this is going to be a little bit of a long story, but I'll share it with you anyway. I had a guy that lives in San Antonio, has never been to a Gunslingers game. And he and I are buddies. We play disc golf together, have for years. And he's been injured. He had an Achilles injury that he hasn't been able to get out and play. So I am moving, and I wanted to hang out with him one last time. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, you want to play disc golf? And he goes, man, I can't. And I said, okay, do you want to go to a Gunslinger game with me? I know I can get a ticket in our area, and you can come to the Gunslinger game with me. He was thinking about it. He had talked to his wife. He was almost set to do it when he landed in the hospital with a lot of issues, a lot of medical issues. And I won't go through them here because that's his business and not anybody else's. But he is, as far as I know, still at the hospital up in Live Oak now. And be in prayer for Matt as well, if you're one of those kind of people. Matt, God knows who he is, so you can just say Matt. And his issues, I I had it. I had somebody that had never been before that I know would be a huge Gunslinger fan if he got him to a game. I think he'd love it. I think he'd really enjoy it. And I had him. And then some medical issues crop up. And that's my bull spit. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Injuries happen on the field. They also happen sort of off the field. Sickness or illness or injury can affect us in a lot of ways. So that's my bull spit, is that Matt wasn't able to join us and that he is not feeling well. I want him to get better as soon as he can. With all that being said, when it comes to indoor football, if you're looking for the best indoor football experience, an experience that is not just about what goes on the field, but what goes on off the field as well. Not just about the football team, but also about the dance team and the people behind the scenes that do incredible work to make things go week in and week out. If you're looking for that kind of experience, I know there's probably a lot of great people and a pretty decent dance team in Arizona or over in Jacksonville or up in, some of the Green Bay and some of those kind of places, maybe over in Orlando. They may do a pretty good job. But when it comes to the best indoor football experience, the 210 has got something to say.
Bang, bang.
And thank you so much for those of you hanging out. We ran a little longer than I meant to. We've been a little shorter past couple of episodes, and this time we ran a little long. So thanks so much. It was great to have Casey and Emily on. Make sure you cheer loud for those girls on Sunday or on Saturday at the game, and Sunday too. Like cheer every day, all week long. Cheer for those folks. Appreciate everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see y'all on Saturday at the game or next Monday. Will we be back next Monday? What's the schedule look like?
Isn't next Monday Memorial Day? We'll talk about that off air, but isn't it Memorial Day?
Yeah, but there's not a game, so there's not a WCF game, so we may have to go with Monday. We'll talk. You'll find out. Pay attention to the social media. We'll tell you when we're coming. Thanks so much, everybody. See you later.
Good night, guys.